Right, hold on. Someone said the mic wasn't working. So if I'm shooting these videos, or at least attempting something like a video, I need to know the audio's working. So it's either A, a do-over with the audio working, or B, Q&A on anything electric scooter related. So one or the other. I think I might have to do over on the actual pin. But the original pin is an absolute shocker that they fitted into the scooter. I will say that. I'll pull it up now for you and show you. It's really flimsy. Is the audio working anyway? Can anyone let me know? It should be. What about now? Can anyone tell me if the audio's working in the chat? I don't know. But that's the original lock-in pin. I've had a closer look at it, and it is hollow through and through. Let's take it apart a second to see what's holding the whole front mechanism up. Well, that's just a spring. Yeah, that's a hollow tube, and that's holding the whole front up. Is looks like 1 mil of a steel collar. It's weighted more on the end, so it's probably solid from there up, but from there down, that's just a hollow 1 mil collar of steel, and that's holding up the whole mechanism. So it might be better to go with a bolt straight through. It depends if you're into folding. If there's anyone in the chat, can you let me know if the audio's working? Save me having to do a do-over. That would help big time. Because a few people in the last one said there was no audio, so that was a bit of an issue. But what we went in and done is stripped out the original mechanism and locked it up. I just took it off the little ramp there, and well, it doesn't rock no more, so that's a good sign. I'll take it out for a test tomorrow. But you fix one problem and you find another, so that now is rock solid. I still don't like that. That doesn't look right. Well, it's fine, but there's no bearings in it. It's on a shaft. That's a steel rod. I don't know. Might have to look into sorting that out as well. But then how far do you go? Listen, Josh, folding it is like, do you know what I mean? You needs to fold it if you're getting on that bus. But will you be thinking about folding it when you hit that pothole? I don't know. Don't get me wrong, it's fixed that issue. That's perfectly fine now. That can't move, can't go nowhere. 2 points of fixing, is locked in. But then that leaves the front steering column left, and that's just off a steel rod. I tell you what, it felt safer just tightening it up. And I didn't even put it on the floor, to be honest, Josh. But even just twisting the bolts and locking it down, as soon as it got to a certain point, you could tell the thing just not moving no more. No chance. And again, with that one down there, I know why they made it folding, because every other scooter company got a folding scooter as well. So that's half the sell. But there's no need to have a folding mechanism that is held up by this. I'll hold it up next to it. Let me see. It comes in from this side. The pin stops is short of the collar, so it's locking in there. It's just about clipping into the brass collar on the other side. In fact, you can see the lines on the pin, the end of it, where it's just clipping the brass collar. You see that dirty line? And towards the right at the tip, that's literally where it hasn't gone no further into the collar. So that is holding like 70-80 kilos up when it hits a pothole. Not sure. Not to mention it's hollow. So folding good. Easier to sell a scooter that folds because every other scooter does, but I don't want it folding on me. But like I said, you fix one problem, you find another. And I just found another. Why are you pulling G-force, Josh? I'll take it easy. It's 500 watts, mate. G-force. But yeah, you fly forward when you brake. You mod that shunt, you'll fly backwards when you accelerate. There's a tip. This thing's a wheelie machine. But yeah, solved that problem. Then picked up on this again, which was fixed, but as it wears in, the problem carries on. That's the only bit of movement left in the whole thing. It ain't much. It really ain't much, and I shouldn't complain. But still, I jumped on a Mantis earlier on, and that thing was solid as a rock. I know this is not 1600, 1800 pound Mantis money, but you can still make it feel a bit stiffer underneath you. There's another few faults as well, actually. Not faults, it's just they didn't think about it. Back spoiler. If you noticed, when you put your weight on it and it moves, the actual fender bottoms out on the back bracket. That keeps on hitting dun 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 dun. This fender's a bit too oversized. It catches the rear wheel, but if you jump on your scooter now and jump up and down like you was hitting a bump, that's gonna hit that. And yeah, that shouldn't happen either. So they basically cheaped out on the travel of the shock. You could change them yourself to cheap enough. Have the shock slightly bigger by ½ inch, etc. That'll bump up the height on the back end. That'd stop that, but still, it's just the little things. But no one minds a fixer-upper. And for the money, I've left Churons in the dirt. So it's not too bad. Any more recommendations for the Pro M4? Obviously the front's completely different, the mechanism on there. That's more of a rounded bicycle style steering column, so that feels a lot better, a lot stiffer. You just got to make sure where you buy it from because of the battery. A lot of companies label the battery as something and then you end up with something else, so that's always a trade-off. Yeah, the brakes, Josh, they wear out a lot. I took the back caliper off about 2 days ago. Looked at the discs, size of a 2p piece. Let me see, 3mm thick. Nothing spectacular, but changing the brake calipers is one thing. The discs are not helping. They're not exactly, do you know what I mean, they're standard off the shelf hole punch discs, so they stop you, they do what they're supposed to do, and that's what they do. A better shaped disc, better air sort of gaps for when it clamps down. It'll give you sort of a different braking feel as well. A lot sharper, a lot slower, smoother, etc. They do them on AliExpress and they are cheap. It's just sort of a different style and shape you want to do, unless you go in really fast. Oh no, don't be paying no £1,600 for no Dualtron or none of that. Don't get me wrong, they're good, they're great, they're good. but £1,600. Have you seen the frames you can get on AliExpress? I think I showed you. They're just generic Chinese frames called X48. If you Google them, there's like 4 different choices of frames that you can just buy. They come in a box minus all the electronics and battery. They start off £99 for one that looks kind of like a Kugoo M4, and they end up at £290 for one that looks more like a Raptor. Now that's just a frame. You literally just park it next to your Kugoo, dump and drop all the stuff over. Yeah, it's not a Raptor, yeah, they haven't got the battery, the 2 motors, etc, etc, but you've got a solid base, at least, and it's a base you can work with. Don't get me wrong, this is a base you can work with. You can change the whole front section on this. I've spotted a few. I should be able to bring them up. Let's have a deep dive. Hold on. Let me show you the frames we got. They're labelled as, let me see, DIY electric scooter frames. They're here. This is the starting $9.99 basic frame. See the actual chassis look familiar? It's because it's a Kugoo box. No different. They've just added different parts. Notice? Look at that fender. Yep. So, oh, there you go. There's my example. That's a £99 chassis. So, I don't know where they draw the line on labelling in their own make, but that's a generic frame from China that you can add your own motor and electronics to, slap your own branding on top of it, and sell your own scooter. Or you could spend more, $182, so that'd be cheaper pounds. What frame is that? That's a frame. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a nice ass. But the folding mechanism's different again. That's more pro style. That is a different box, I'll give them that. But there are loads of options. Oh, as soon as the battery is just going to help you anyway, because you can pull more amps off it, so that's just a good start. Plus you got more amp hours to run you, so that's a better thing. And with a shunt mod on top of that, the battery can live up to expectations, because the controller has got a 12/13 amp current limit, which is not dedicated by the actual chipset on the board, because it's dumb. It's an 8KB chipset, it's thick, so that can't dictate any speed. It's not clever enough to do a voltage divide calculation to work out the amp drop, etc. There's big stuff in there, but what they have done is just manually limited it. So as soon as you do that mod, you can pull the full 20 amps or 21 amps the actual controller is rated for, that's on the sticker on top. It says 21 amps. So yeah, you can pull the 21 amps, your battery's going to come in handy then. Then you can think of dew wheeling. Where's that other frame? I think the sexy one, where's it to? There you go. This one looks like all that war. But again, that's a generic box. Now, I've looked into this. The back section, the complete back section, the rear wheel, the fender, the mount, the whole bracket, that can be bought as a piece. And I don't know how deep you've gone into your Kugoo, but you can actually unbolt the whole rear section of your Kugoo. Let me flip over a second. You can actually unbolt the whole rear section down here where the suspension is, and inside there, and this just drops away, and you can attach a completely different swing arm. The mounting holes are already there, and the same goes to the mounting holes in the front section. I don't know if you've took your plate off yet, but if you have a look, there's actual circle screw mounts all up and down here to mount a completely different plate. They're literally off the shelf, and the manufacturer picks what parts, and the box is already cut and holed and templated for them. So you could go all the way and just make your own thing. You flip back over. But yeah, that's a nice little frame. Plenty of travel on the back, plenty of travel on the front. Might bounce like a kangaroo at times, but yeah, that's pretty much all you can do. I gotta fix this front end up now, sort that out for tomorrow. Try and make it cheap and cheerful, sort the audio out. I got a new microphone, a new camera coming. So we'll sort something out. I've also got parts to print mud guards. Bluetooth interface. That was a blinder. I don't know if anyone would be interested in that, but I've got a Bluetooth interface that joins in between the throttle cable that's connected at the top. It's literally just plug and play. You can connect up with your mobile phone. It does full on telemetry like the Xiaomi M365s do. So that's pretty cool. Someone pushed me to that last night, so that was fun. So that'll be coming soon. I just gotta box up all this stuff and get it all ready, basically. But yeah, anything, you can modify anything on this. There's hidden light switches. You probably know about that already. Up on the top that activates high beam, but nothing actually happens. Well, something does happen, but nothing physically happens that you can see. So there's an option of connecting an extra light or moving the RGB by itself up to that high beam switch. That's something I need to look into. So it's connecting back that RGB Bluetooth controller, but I thought I'd tie that in with the Bluetooth telemetry plug-in device and try and get it all to work as a one thing. But yeah, a few companies contacted as well, so, but I'm not really into that. But yeah, we'll make more videos, we'll get some more stuff out. If there's any ideas or anything anyone wants in specific, then I don't mind making one-offs. So just let me know. Right, I'm gone. Catch you all later.